Newcastle United fans, brace yourselves for jaw-dropping revelations and thrilling encounters. From Newcastle United having devised an ingenious plan for signing Ruben Neves if Premier League clubs block his loan move, you won't believe what they have in store, to the revelation around Newcastle's secret scouting network, as they have set their sights on a phenomenal 22-year-old world-class prolific winger, to Newcastle United being told the price tag for a sensational 23-year-old French centre-back. The stakes are high and the negotiations are heating up. And here's something intriguing. We'll reveal what Eddie Howe previously said about Hugo Ekitike, and it's now even more interesting after Newcastle renewed their interest in him. So prepare for a whirlwind of surprises as we uncover the untold stories, the transfer battles, and the intriguing connections in the world of Newcastle United. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss a single moment of this incredible journey.
Let's go!
Starting off, according to reports, Newcastle United has devised a plan regarding signing Ruben Neves in the event that Premier League clubs block loan moves from clubs owned by the Public Investment Fund. There is a meeting scheduled where Premier League clubs will vote on whether to ban related party transactions temporarily. Newcastle fully expects their loan plans to be thwarted if 14 or more clubs vote in favor of the ban. However, Graham Bailey of 90 Minutes suggests that Newcastle could still pursue Ruben Neves on a permanent deal by paying fair market value for the midfielder. This approach could potentially bypass any counter-proposals brought in by the Premier League and legally circumvent the ban.
I could see that as a very real possibility.
It is reported that Neves is keen on a return to the Premier League and has also attracted interest from Arsenal. If Newcastle's attempts to sign the Portuguese international fail, they may consider alternative options such as Calvin Phillips. While the situation is complex, and some may argue that it would be safer to explore other targets, the prospect of Ruben Neves ending up at Newcastle could create significant controversy and frustration across the Premier League. Then moving on, according to reports, Newcastle United are all interested in signing Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, the 22-year-old forward from Napoli. Kvaratskhelia has garnered attention with his impressive performances over the past 18 months, attracting interest from some of the biggest clubs in world football. The young Georgian player made a strong impression in his debut season, playing a significant role in Napoli's Serie A title win. Although the team hasn't replicated their success this season, Kvaratskhelia has continued to impress. According to Graham Bailey of the 90 Minutes, Newcastle scouts were in attendance to watch Kvaratskhelia play for Georgia against Spain on Sunday night. He also added that scouts from Chelsea, Manchester City, and Manchester United were also in Spain and were there to pay close attention to Kvaratskhelia. During Georgia's international match against Spain, Kvaratskhelia showcased his abilities by scoring his team's only goal in a 3-1 defeat. Since the takeover, Newcastle United has been actively seeking young players with high potential, and Kvaratskhelia fits that profile. The club is interested in acquiring his services. However, it is unlikely that Napoli will allow Kvaratskhelia to leave anytime soon. They are not expected to sell both Kvaratskhelia and Victor Osimhen in the same transfer window, and Osimhen's departure is more likely due to his contractual situation. Furthermore, Kvaratskhelia is reportedly in talks with Napoli regarding a contract extension that would run until the summer of 2028. The new deal would add an additional year to his existing contract and include a significant pay rise. Be it as it may be, Newcastle United are keeping close tabs on the player and could make a shock move in the future. Then, according to Team Talk, Liverpool and Newcastle United are monitoring the situation of Youssoufa Mukoko at Borussia Dortmund. A decision regarding the forward's future is expected soon. Mukoko recently signed a contract extension with Borussia Dortmund, which runs until 2026. This allows Dortmund to have control over his future. Although he showed promise last season, he has struggled for playing time and relevance this season, featuring in only 9 games across all competitions for a total of 136 minutes. Speculation surrounding his future has resurfaced ahead of the January transfer window, with English clubs showing interest. Chelsea, Liverpool, and Newcastle United have been linked with Mukoko, although Chelsea appears more focused on signing an established striker option. Liverpool and Newcastle United could potentially engage in a bidding war if they come close to Dortmund's asking price, which is reportedly around €35, 40 million. It remains uncertain whether these clubs have a pressing need for a player like Mukoko, but his quality and potential as a squad depth option make him an attractive prospect. On the other hand, it is claimed that Fulham and Crystal Palace have been alerted to the possibility of securing Mukoko's services on a loan deal. Dortmund may be hesitant to sell him so soon after his contract extension, leading them to consider a temporary move for the 19-year-old. If Dortmund is open to a temporary move, Newcastle may have a chance to secure Mukoko's services to stay on the right side of financial fair play. Such a situation could also be beneficial for the 19-year-old, who might see it as an opportunity to enter English football. Moving on, according to the Mirror, Newcastle United is reportedly interested in signing Jean-Clair Todibo, a central defender from Nice. The report states that Newcastle would need to pay a transfer fee of £40 million for Todibo and highlights a potential obstacle in securing the deal. Newcastle's head coach, Eddie Howe, is said to be keen on signing a central defender, with Todibo being one of the players on their radar. The report also mentions that Newcastle has been scouting the French international throughout the season. However, Newcastle faces competition from Manchester United, who were reportedly interested in signing Todibo during the summer transfer window and could potentially make a move for him in the upcoming January transfer window. In my opinion, Jean-Clair Todibo would be a good signing for Newcastle United in January. I believe that Todibo would not only be a valuable addition to the team in the short term, but also has the potential to contribute for years to come. What do you think? Then, Newcastle United had previously attempted to sign Hugo Ekitike, a French forward, but he rejected their offers twice in 2022 in favor of joining Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. However, Ekitike's time at PSG has been challenging, with limited playing minutes, leading to speculation about a potential departure from the French capital. Reports suggest that Newcastle could make another attempt to sign Ekitike in 2024, marking their third pursuit of the player. It has been mentioned that Newcastle officials might explore the possibility of a loan deal with an option to buy. Newcastle's interest in Ekitike stems from their need for a third striker, especially considering recent injuries to Alexander Isak and Callum Wilson. The ideal candidate for this role should be young and have the potential to develop while eventually replacing Wilson in the long term. Ekitike's rejection of Newcastle in the past has left a bitter taste among some supporters. However, shortly after it was confirmed that Ekitike had chosen PSG over Newcastle in 2022, Eddie Howe, the manager at the time, expressed no bitterness or ill will towards the player. He spoke to the Chronicle after the move to PSG became official, and was still very complimentary about Ekitike and his potential, saying, "It's no secret that we really liked Hugo, and we worked hard to try and do that deal," he said. "He's a very talented lad and he decided to go to PSG. I have no hard feelings toward him and wish him well in the next phase of his career. I really do wish him luck. But it is an example of the types of clubs we're competing with to try and improve our squad." Newcastle United still sees potential in Hugo Ekitike, despite his previous rejections of the club. Eddie Howe expressed no hard feelings towards Ekitike last year, and it appears that Newcastle's stance remains unchanged. The club believes that Ekitike possesses immense talent and has a bright future ahead of him at St. James's Park. Although his time at PSG has not worked out as expected, Newcastle sees this as an opportunity. The disappointment of his situation at PSG could serve as motivation for Ekitike to strive for improvement and prove himself. Therefore, Ekitike is once again a target for Newcastle United. Eddie Howe held a high regard for the player in 2022, and that opinion seems to persist as the club enters 2024. But tell me, would you want Newcastle United to sign Hugo Ekitike? Then finally, according to reports from Brazil, there have been rumors linking Santos striker Marcos Leonardo to a potential January move to Newcastle United. While other clubs such as Real Madrid and Roma have also been mentioned as potential suitors, Bolavip Brazil recently reported that Newcastle was preparing an €18 million, £15.7 million, bid for the 20-year-old. In response to these rumors, Marcos Leonardo's agent, Rafaela Pimenta, has stated that the player is likely to leave Santos this winter and expressed his desire to experience European football. Pimenta, who also represents high-profile players like Erling Haaland and Paul Pogba, believes that the time is right for Marcos Leonardo to make the move to Europe, suggesting that he may be available for transfer in January. When asked about a potential move following strong links with Newcastle, she said, "Already in the previous transfer market he had the possibility of being sold, but Santos's sporting situation was very particular. He agreed to stay because he wanted to help out until the end of the championship," she said. "He didn't want to leave because it wasn't the right thing to do. But the time has come to move. He wants to have a European experience, and his time will come this winter."
That was easy.